ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
It is Thursday, December 19th. Glad to be back with you. It's The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour, and we're going to go to that a lot, 304-396-TALK. That is 304-396-8255. We got bowl action coming up tonight here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We got Georgia Southern, R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Georgia Southern taking on Sam Houston State. That's at 6:30. And we'll have the majority of the bowl games right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So I'm looking forward to that one. Are we in that mode? Can we root for Georgia Southern now? Can we do that? Is it okay since they're a conference member? Can we do that? Or are we just adamant against them? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 is going to be our text line to be a part of the show here again on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So we weren't with you yesterday. Sorry, we had to stay away for a day. James Madison getting its first bowl. I thought that was a good game yesterday. So congratulations to James Madison. Looking good for the conference. I know Marshall's not participating this year, but I do want the conference schools to win. I want the league to look good. So anytime that there's a league school playing, I'm going to be rooting for that team. I just don't know if some of you are like, no, we don't like any of them. We don't care what the league looks like. Nope. It's all about Marshall, nothing else. We don't care. You know, I kind of different than that. I actually want the league to be successful outside of playing Marshall. So if Georgia Southern can get a win tonight, absolutely, I want that to happen. You know, James Madison getting a win, absolutely, I want that to happen. You know, and again, since Marshall's not participating in the bowl season, I know some of you are probably a little disconnected from it. Got basketball to get ready for. That's going to be a hot night, isn't it? I asked this earlier in the week, and I'm going to ask it again. Are you going to feel any heat? Is there going to be some heat generated between Marshall and Southern Miss? They're having a big recruiting weekend in Hattiesburg. Coach Huff is going to be introduced to the crowd during the Marshall game. Coincidence? Maybe? I don't know. Obviously, we're pulling for Coach Jackson. We want him to go down and get the win, but I think we're really pulling for Coach Jackson now. If you were interested in that game before, you better be now, because I think that's going to be the start of something. And I know it's basketball, and how much of the football is going to really carry over to basketball. And again, you don't see them every year the way you see your division rivals. I know that's going to be a sticky subject for a lot of people. Oh, they're really not a rival. Yeah, they've got our previous coach, but they're really not a rival. I think we should go all in on that. Make that game something. Just go all in. Make it the homecoming opponent. Wouldn't that be something? Coach Huff come back and it was a homecoming game? I would do that. First opportunity. Hey, Southern Miss coming back to Honey. Hey, you know what? Homecoming. Just put that right there on the schedule now. Or maybe the league would do Marshall a solid and bring him in. It could be the 75 game. I would make that something. And again, Marshall needs rivalries. I think you got something going with Georgia Southern. I think you got something going with James Madison. I don't know what the heat index is right now, so I'm going to lean on you a little bit. I've got my own personal heat index, but I don't know what your heat index is. So we will get that going. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. It's kind of been quiet. I know we got the games going on, and there's a lot of focus out there. You know, I've been following as best I can on social media, you know, who's coming in, who's got an offer, who's committed. You know, I've been retweeting some of that. You know, we've got other players, Marshall players, that are announcing for the draft, and even though they don't have any, say, eligibility left, they're putting it out there anyway. Like, they got two options. Hey, I'm done with football. I'm going to declare for the draft. One of two. What are you going to do? I'm done with football. Or I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go in the NFL. Because some of these guys might not get a good look at the NFL, but they're still the alternative leagues, got Canadian football as well. There's a lot of football being played not in the National Football League, so there's still some option for some of these guys. But it's that season where players are going to make that announcement that they are declaring for the NFL draft, or, hey, I'm retired from football. It's obvious stuff, I know, but they're making the announcement nonetheless. It's sort of closure for some of them, or it's like, hey, I'm going to put my name in. I'm going to declare for the draft. Maybe I got a shot. And so we'll follow some of those guys, see how far they can go. We'll be rooting. Hopefully somebody will get picked up from Marshall. And think of it this way, free agency is always going to be a interesting. I think free agency for a lot of these guys sometimes is better. If you're not a home run pick, you have a little bit more control. Okay, here's where I might be able to end up. This is going to be a better situation for me. Yeah, I mean, sure, you trade off the money and depending on what draft pick you are in, the guarantee. But at the same time, for a few of these guys, they could probably find their way on an NFL team, work their way up. It's a possibility. So you'll be seeing more of those announcements, I'm sure, over the next few days and weeks as we get closer to the holidays here. And by the way, can you believe it? We're not that far away from Christmas, so I hope you guys are all ready for that. We're going to have a lot of bowl games. We're going to have a lot of football. We're going to have NFL action on Christmas Day. And that's another thing. We're trying to put together the radio schedule now because we got a lot of programming options. What is more exciting for you? The NFL on Christmas Day or the NBA on Christmas Day? What's going to be your go-to? You open up the presents, you celebrate Christmas morning. Hopefully you have a great time. And then if you're stuck with family that, got to be with them for the next few hours, what are we going to do? Oh, hey, there's a game on. Is it going to be the NBA? Is it going to be the NFL? What are you going to go to? I'm actually curious. I think it's NFL all the way. That's going to be my choice. Go NFL, watch the games. I don't know if it's going to have that same vibe because on Thanksgiving Day, I'm in the kitchen and it's football all day. It works perfect. So we'll get your text in this hour. And again, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 is going to be our text line here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. There was some interesting news that happened today. Just happened a few minutes ago before we hit the air. Louisiana head coach Bob Marlin, he was let go, relieved of his duties. And they actually beat App State in the conference opener. They have not had a good season so far. So the university deciding to cut ties now, and you might see that more and more in college basketball, especially in this day and age. You know what? You didn't really get it going in the non-conference portion. We're struggling. Hey, let's spark the team. Let's get rid of you. Bring in an interim coach. See what we can do. Look for the next coach. You might see those transactions happen more and more, especially mid-season. If you're going to make a coaching change, why not mid-season, right? Why wait till the end of the year when the transfer portal will just open up and take your team away? Why not do it in mid-year, see what happens? So we got a lot to get into. We'll do that with you. Our text line again, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hey, Tri-State, there is a place to shop at. The Huntington's Peddlers Mall is now open in the historic Central City District in Huntington. Over 200 vendors specializing in vintage antiques, home decor, furniture, collectibles, new mattresses, and everything in between. Peddlers Mall, located 800 14th Street West in Huntington. It's the place to go. Open 7 days a week. Visit anytime. Check out the website, peddlersmall.com, for more information. It's the Tri-State place to shop, Huntington's Peddlers Mall.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA. Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
This Christmas, Best Deal Equipment is grateful for you and our amazing community. We want to express our thanks for your continued support, our loyal customers. Stop by and check out our gas ATG excavators. On sale now for $4,200. Best Deal Equipment, Ripley, West Virginia. Merry Christmas.
Swisher and Losey would like to wish all a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy this time with your family and friends, making memories for a lifetime. The entire staff and crew at Swisher and Losey want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Swisher and Losey, your hometown pharmacy, Pomeroy, Ohio.
Good morning, beat freaks. Who's ready to move? Let's start this day right.
Tasha's morning dance parties are meeting rave reviews.
Lose your phones and find your groove.
They need an ops manager to help their community dance the morning away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
How was your day? What did you do in school? I'm Dale Lee, president of the West Virginia Education Association, and these 2 simple questions can encourage learning in your home. Showing interest and asking about the school day can help motivate your children and keep them excited about learning. So stay involved. Stay curious and ask specific questions. Student success involves the whole family.
A message from the West Virginia Education Association.
You're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Winner of the 2024 West Virginia Broadcasters Association Excellence in Broadcasting Award for Best Talk Show.
304-396-TALK is our text line, 304-396-8255. You can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Paul Swann. I'm also trying out Blue Sky, so you can find me there. If you've got a Blue Sky account, give me a follow, at Paul Swann as well. We're trying to keep it as easy as possible. How many of you were hanging on the edge of your seat yesterday? The women in action took on Cincinnati. Came close. Absolutely. Second half was a much better performance for the Thundering Herd. They outscored Cincinnati in that fourth, 21-12. They just fell short by 3 points. They outscored them 21-19. That wasn't enough, however. They got outscored in the second, 19-10. First, it was close, 17-12. But the women, 4-6, they finish non-conference. They have an opportunity here to possibly get things going. They've got Davis and Elkins on Saturday, so that's going to be probably a nice little tune-up game for the Thundering Herd. but they came so close against Cincinnati. Maybe it's a slower start for this team than last year. I mean, look what Coach Caldwell's doing at Tennessee right now. She's undefeated. So, she definitely got everything rolling for the girls last year. And so the Thundering Herd maybe not finishing as, strong in this non-conference schedule as you would like. They did come close, though, to beating Cincinnati. And I know it's got to be frustrating. It's got to be aggravating, to be honest with you, because you're so close. You're getting there. You're so close. But I think these are some things that kind of can be fixed. There's really one way to look at this box score, and Cincinnati had 18 of 23 from the free throw line. 18 of 23. They were 5 of 19 from 3. Not really tearing it up there. The Herd was 10 of 29 from 3, by the way. Cincinnati hit 22 of 64. Marshall was 20 of 50. 20 of 50. So the Herd shot better, I thought. And for the game, they shot 44%. They shot better than Cincinnati. The three-point line was better for Marshall than Cincinnati. But then you look at the one thing that it's got to be annoying to look at is the free throw line. That's where Marshall could have maybe won this game. Marshall was 10 of 23 from the free throw line. 43.5%. Cincinnati, as we mentioned, 18 of 23, 78.3%. You make 3 more free throws, and this game is tied. You make 4 more free throws, and you could win this game. Now, I know it doesn't actually work like that, but you could have got a few more points off the free throw line and changed this game dynamically. Marshall had 22 points in the paint. Bench came up, scored 20. Marshall had 17 points off of turnovers, 8 second chance points. Now, Cincinnati did outclass them there, 16 second chance points. But you look at the numbers, and at the end of the day, Marshall shot better than Cincinnati. Marshall was better from the three-point line than Cincinnati. I'm sure Marshall took more shots from 3. And actually, you're 22 of 50, but 29 of those were from the three-point line. And then you look at the free throws, 10 of 23. I mean, that's got to be frustrating. Lots of free throw practice, I'm thinking. Lots of free throw practice, right? I don't know if you can quickly get that to work for you, but that's the one I circle right there. Got to get better from the free throw line. Turnovers, assists, again, I'm pulling a Cornelius Jackson now. I'm looking at the turnovers and assists number a lot more. 18 turnovers, 11 assists. You got to hang on to the ball. Cincinnati wasn't much better. 12 assists, 18 turnovers. Defensively, Marshall got 11 steals in that game, only 7 for Cincinnati. So Marshall really, and it was a good comeback in the second, Marshall, ultimately, you want to ding them for one thing. You look at these numbers, and it's just the free throw line. And that's it. Aislinn Hayes had 6 turnovers, but she also had 24 points. She had 2 rebounds. Meredith Mayer had 8 points and 7 rebounds. And Aislinn Hayes was the only double-digit scorer for the Thundering Herd. Mayer had 6, as we just mentioned. Mays had 4. Yeast had 9. I'm looking down the list here. Kellyone had 8. And so you got to find a couple more scorers. And again, I know that was a tough game last night for the Thundering Herd. And again, I go back to the one thing. At the end of the day, free throws seems to be the number you can circle and go, okay, the Herd hits a few more of those. Maybe we're talking about a gritty win, a gritty comeback for the Thundering Herd. But Hayes was your leading scorer at 8 of 13. She was 3 of 5 from the three-point line. Meredith Mayer struggled a little bit from the three-point line. She was 2 of 9 there. And then for the team, difficulty getting free throws. And it was across the board, really. And it was just here or there. Now, I know you're thinking 43.5%, 10 of 23, but those count. Mayer was 2 of 9 from the three-point line, but she was perfect from the free throw line with 2 apiece. She had 7 rebounds, all defensive. Aislinn Hayes, 5 of 9 from the free throw line. And then just here or there, Cece Mays, 0 of 4 from the free throw line. She had 22 minutes and 4 points. 22 minutes, 4 points, 2 of 7 from the field, 0 of 2 from the three-point line, and she had 3 rebounds. She had a little foul trouble. She had 3 fouls. 3 assists, 1 turnover, 1 steal, 4 points. So hopefully once you get back home, you can get your final tune-up, then you get into league play. Are you optimistic after watching that game, though, that, okay, this might not be the exact season that we got last year, but are you optimistic after a close loss against Cincinnati and the way the Herd lost it and had a chance to win that game? Do you feel like, okay, maybe short term there's going to be a little growing pain here? You're going from one coach to another, and of course, every year is going to be different. You're going to a different season. You're going to a different style, so you can't compare year to year anymore, especially with the transfer portal. But the core players are there, or at least a nucleus is there. You feel they're right there on the verge, possibly. We've got conference to find out. One more tune-up, Davis and Elkins, and then we've got conference, and we'll see how this turns. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on this edition of The Drive. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kenny Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Hey, it's Lex and Terry, K&B Pest Control, locally owned and operated in Huntington, West Virginia, serving the tri-state.
Man, these guys are great. They do residential and commercial, indoor, outdoor, free estimates. These guys are the best, I'm telling you.
This is when the critters come out. High customer ratings, satisfaction guaranteed, large fleet, crew, meaning same-day appointments, and quick service.
All you got to do is pick up your phone and call Patrick, the owner. Okay, that's what you got to do. Or Becca. They're standing by to take care of you guys. It's KNBPestControl.com online, and give them a call, man. They got a great Facebook page. Go ahead and like it. They got a phone number. We'll give you that. Why not? It's free. 304-523-4281.
Or go to KNBPestControl.com. They will tell you what everything looks like, what you're looking for, if you're getting a pest problem, and get on top of it. They're the best. Make sure you call Patrick once again, who is very passionate about his pest control, or Becca. KNB Pest Control. They'll kill for your business.
Trust the guys with over 40 years of experience at KNB Pest Control.
Giovanni's Pizza. Fresh, hot, and tasty. Have it delivered right to your door. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Stay safe this winter with help from Menards. Protect your windshield and keep your view clear with Splash Ultimate Windshield Wash Fluid. It's effective down to negative 35 degrees, and it clears ice and salt for a clean, streak-free shine. Pick up a gallon for only $2.39. Get everything you need for your vehicle at Menards, and view our weekly flyer on Menards.com to view all our great deals happening now. Prices good through December 24th.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
The holidays are here, and Dave's Supreme Auto Sales in Gallipolis wants to share a special Christmas wish. May your days be merry, your travels be safe, and your season be filled with joy. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kathleen Eubanks-Ming with the American Academy of Family Physicians. Bullies use power, strength, or popularity to hurt others emotionally or physically. And while you can't be with your child all the time, there are ways you can help. If your child encounters a bully, tell them to get to a safe place and tell an adult. You can also show them how to block online bullies. Teach them they can be more than a bystander and that they can help their peers. For more on bullying, visit familydoctor.org or talk with your family physician.
This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Welcome back to our Thursday edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. From the text line, texter says, Paul, with Marshall backing out of the bowl game and with most of public opinion either being sympathetic towards Marshall or blaming Marshall for not being able to field a football team, do you think that this will have long-term ramifications for Marshall, and will the bowl system change? Appreciate the text. Thank you. I have a mixed opinion on that. I think you're going to get a lot of people still in that reaction phase, and it's going to get brought back up. Once the Independence Bowl cycles around, it's going to be brought back up that Marshall was the original opponent. I know that there are people that are upset with Marshall for accepting the invitation and then knowing that it didn't maybe have a team, or thinking that it could figure a way to field a team when really it didn't have a team. We saw what the transfer portal was looking like hours after the announcement was made that Coach Huff had left Marshall and accepted the job at Southern Miss. So, I don't know if the brand is damaged fully. There are a lot of kids that are looking to come to Marshall and play football. Coaches are out there working it right now. So there are kids that are coming. So I don't know what the recruiting class is going to look like and how this team's going to shape up next season, but I don't think that it's going to hurt those kids long term. The ones that stay, how many are left? The ones that are coming in, they seem to be on board with the herd. So as far as a recruiting standpoint is concerned, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be that damaging, because I think for a lot of players, they don't want to go to the bowls. The bowls don't mean anything. It's almost a glorified exhibition game at this point. Yeah, it does count. You get a trophy. But at this point in the season, you're looking maybe towards next year, or looking what your next opportunity is going to be. And there's a lot of kids that just don't want to play in that game. For some, you got to leave. Marshall, I believe, would have had to leave on Christmas Day to make it to the bowl site. And there are a lot of fans that can't travel to these games anymore. I mean, look at the Frisco Bowl. I watched that the other day. And you got teams that are far away from Texas duking it out. Memphis and West Virginia duking it out in Frisco, Texas. And that's a cool bowl. The Frisco Bowl was cool. But there weren't that many fans there. And so you're playing in front of an empty stadium just about. And sure, you're getting a good look at people. The ones that are there are having a good time. Yeah, TV-wise, this makes for more entertainment. It's programming. And really what it's come down to is it's programming for ESPN for the most part, because ESPN has ownership in, I believe, 17 bowls and has partnerships with a lot more. And then, of course, you have the bowl system that has the lobbying power. I don't think that the bowls are worth what they used to be to the kids that are playing. Now, for television executives, it's easy programming. For fans, some of them love it, love going to it. A lot can't go. I mean, how many people were going to drop everything they were doing to go to an off-day game? Or, hey, it's a midweek game. Now, of course, I say that, and a lot of people drove to Cary, North Carolina to go watch the Herd play for a national championship, but Marshall in soccer was playing for a national championship. And Cary, North Carolina is relatively easier to get to than, I would say, going to Texas to watch your team play in a bowl game. I just used Frisco Bowl as an example. But I think long-term, as far as recruiting is concerned, I don't think it's necessarily going to be that damaging. Now, bowl executives might think twice a little bit. I know there's some concern there still. Like, can you trust Marshall? Marshall let us down. We had this really good matchup. We had the Sun Belt champion against the AAC champion. That was going to be one of the better non-playoff bowl games. And so Marshall kind of pulling out there left a lot of people scrambling. And now you have a team that didn't even make 6 wins as competing. The conference loses out on some of that bowl distribution money. I'm sure Marshall's going to lose a piece of that as well. It's not going to be something that is going to be a pleasant topic when league meetings happen. As far as the NCAA is concerned, paper tiger on this. Transfer portal, do you advocate the transfer portal being changed to a different date? And then is that going to stand up in court when players say, look, you're denying me opportunity here. I want to leave because I'm not getting it here, or I want to leave. There's a better opportunity for me here. And you're denying me access to the transfer portal an important time of the year. And a lot of players, if they don't want to be in the bowl game anyway, they're just going to opt out. So I think people will talk about this for a while. Is there going to be real change? I don't know. I think it's going to have to be a more of a widespread change in the system. I think these student athletes should not be student athletes if we're going to call it what it is. Student athlete is a term that is no longer accurate. They should be state employees. They should be employees. Absolutely. They're employees now. At this level, I would make them all state employees. And it has to be across the board. Every institution, there should be maybe a collective bargaining agreement. Maybe the college football players can finally all get together. It's so fluid. Maybe they can unionize. I mean, there's so many things. I've seen some of that stuff thrown out there as well. What do you do in this situation? How do you tell a young man, hey, look, we're going to limit your opportunities because your ability to leave the university has damaged my ability to go to a bowl game? And that's where it needs to be looked at. Do the kids want to play in this game? Does it mean anything? Should they expand the college football playoff? I would expand it. I would make the playoff the thing. It's more valuable anyway. You're playing for something. And I don't know if you still bring the bowls in, to be honest with you. I mean, sure, you've got the Rose Bowl. It's a venue. Okay. Why would this playoff be beholden to the bowls to begin with? And how much money do you really make off the bowl games? You're on the hook for the tickets. I mean, if you're having a bad year, you get a bowl, you're on the hook for the tickets. How many fans are going to travel to see, okay, just another game? I mean, there'll be some that will. Rain or shine, they're there. But how many tickets can you really sell? Especially where you're going to different parts of the country that maybe, on short notice, you get a couple of weeks or so. You got to sell as many tickets as you can. You got to try to make some of that back. You want to go, of course, through the university to get your tickets. I know some people have gone out and bought their tickets outside of the university, so they're stuck with tickets now. I just don't know if it's going to be enough. It's going to be talked about. Marshall will get some sympathy from people. I don't know how much sympathy you're going to get, and there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be railing against Marshall. And again, it's going to be those people that have something to lose if the bowl system changes. I don't know if it's going to be enough. As far as Marshall next season, we'll see. You got a coach that wants to be here, putting together a staff right now. I know that we haven't heard much on that front yet, and it's going to be a process to officially announce the staff, and you've seen some of the recruiting that's been coming out so far. So it's been going on. They're working. They're aware. It's a possibility that we'll see here the next few weeks all of the pieces put together. At the end of the day, though, I just don't know if this one moment is going to be enough. If more teams were opting out, maybe you look at it, or maybe Marshall's going to be the first of many, and now that Marshall's done it, other teams can make that decision? Or will this kind of give pause for a minute? Do you accept that bowl bid knowing that it might be difficult for you to fill? Or is this just a unique once-in-a-generation situation for Marshall? Because other schools are going through transfer portal. Other schools are going through coaching changes. Other schools are going through name, image, and likeness. Other schools are handling it. Maybe at some point you rework this. So, look, you're obligated to do this game. You can go afterward, but you're obligated. You figure that out. How does the system work where they can still transfer, but they're obligated to the last game? Hey, I'm in the transfer portal, but I'm obligated to this last game. And does that mean we regulate NIL a little bit more? And then goes back to my thought. You make these kids state employees. And it's got to be uniform, I would think, across the board in college athletics. These are employees now. They're not here for 4 or 5 years, and that's fine. But is this the situation where you're going to have to just call it what it is? This is not amateur athletics anymore. These young men are getting monetary deals. Depending on what level you're at, do you make them state employees? Are they employees? And of course, if they're employees, then there are obligations that come with signing a contract and being an employee, not just signing a letter of intent. The scholarship isn't the thing anymore. It's the deal. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texture says, Paul, don't give the unions any ideas. Maybe change the portal rules. I'm just saying. You got to have some collective bargaining, right? You got to make this thing unionized, right? Do we not want them to unionize? 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up, including your text. This edition of Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with kids, finances, insurance, and life? Well, let your State Farm agent help you simplify and get to a better state. With State Farm handling your auto, home, and life insurance, you'll have more time to handle everything else. More money, too. Adding State Farm policies can earn discounts that could add up to 40% and help you get ahead. Call an agent today and get to a better state with State Farm. In Huntington, Jeff Smith, 304-781-1234. And in Wayne, Vicky Tabor, 304-272-5149.
Hey, Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. It's that time of year again, football season. Frank's has you covered from Marshall, WVU, the rest of college football to the NFL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials they have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check them out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
KFB, the Better Bank, would like to wish you a happy holidays. May your days be filled with peace and joy. As we reflect on this past year, we would like to thank you for trusting us with your finances and look forward to serving our community in the new year.
Altizer Farm Supply wishes you and your family a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. As your trusted Central Boiler dealer, they're here to keep you warm this holiday season. Visit them on Centerpoint Road in Thurman, Ohio. Warm wishes from everyone at Altizer Farm Supply.
I'm Nori, and when I was young, my mom opened our home to someone who needed a secure and safe place. She taught him what it was like to have someone care about you, having dinner at home or going out to eat together.
In West Virginia, families open their homes every year to adult family care.
Some folks need a little extra help, but everybody deserves a family.
Call the Department of Human Services and ask to speak to an adult family care home finder at 304-269-6820. Sponsored by the West Virginia Department of Human Services, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station. This project is supported by the Administration for Community Living, ACL, of the United States, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, as part of a financial assistance award totaling $1,227,345, with 100% funded by ACL HHS. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL HHS or the U.S. government.
Swisher and Losey would like to wish all a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy this time with your family and friends, making memories for a lifetime. The entire staff and crew at Swisher and Losey want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. Swisher and Losey, your hometown pharmacy, Pomeroy, Ohio.
Good morning, beat freaks. Who's ready to move? Let's start this day right.
Tasha's morning dance parties are meeting rave reviews.
Lose your phones and find your groove.
They need an ops manager to help their community dance the morning away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The holidays are the most cherished time of the year, but Jack's Auto Upholstery would like you to remember to continue these moments into the new year, not just during the holidays. And if you plan to celebrate, please be safe. From all of us to all of you, we wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Jack's Auto Upholstery, Pomeroy, Ohio, 740-508-1126. That's 740-508-1126. This is The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930.
Final segment for today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Things are heating up. Our text line this hour is 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Final show of the week. We got bowl action for the rest of the week. Coming up later this evening, we have got the R+L Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Georgia Southern taking on Sam Houston State. Coverage begins at 6:30 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're all pulling for Georgia Southern, right? I mean, I am. We're pulling for Georgia Southern. Want the conference to look good. Don't want to lose to Sam Houston. I don't want Marshall to have been beaten by a team that lost to Sam Houston State. You get me? So we're all rooting for Georgia Southern tonight. That's coming up 6:30 right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Back to our text line, and that's 304-396-TALK. Texter says, Paul, the transfer portal shouldn't be open until after the bowl season. Eventually, the college athletes will have to sign contracts, and CFB will need a new commissioner. And go hurt. Appreciate the text. I want to be the first commissioner of college football. How hard can it be? I want to be that guy. I want to be the first commissioner of college football. And I want to rule with an iron fist and common sense. Common sense and an iron fist. That's how I'm going to rule college football. It needs to be managed. And the transfer portal, while beneficial to the student athletes, and of course, it's a double-edged sword. Schools are getting decimated by it. The transfer giveth and the transfer portal taketh away. I've said that for years now. The portal giveth, the portal taketh away. At the same time, there are schools benefiting from this. Top schools are going to benefit always. There's always going to be an influx of talent going to the top schools. Schools like Marshall, you have a good year. The fear was, hey, you have a good year, and then all the other schools are going to come in and poach the kids. And, of course, you got agents that are going to be reaching out. I mean, nobody does this directly anymore. Hey, these kids have agents now. They're going out and doing the deals ahead of time. Coach Huff, he had an agent. He had a staff. They're going out doing the deals. Coach Huff wasn't calling up Southern Miss like, hey, you got a job for me? No, the agent's doing that work. These kids have got agents now. I need an agent because the transfer portal, it opens up, and then there's a mad rush. If you're a bitter player, say you're like the third-string quarterback, and you think you should be playing, you're going to get in the transfer portal hoping for another opportunity. I won't even say third string. You're the second-string quarterback. You're good. The guy in front of you is better. You didn't beat him out, and so you don't know if you're going to get any playing time, so you're going to go look for a better situation, and you got to get in the transfer portal now because the next guy that's bitter, that's good, is going to get into the transfer portal, and you're hoping you can land somewhere where they don't have a good quarterback and you can be the guy. You didn't get enough opportunity at school A, so you're looking to go to school B. And that's going to happen. Sometimes you've got players that are good, and they look to go to a bigger university to, as Coach Huff would say, create value for yourself. I'm all for creating value for yourself. I get that. I'm all for it. I'm also for improving yourself, to get better, to do it better than you did the day before. That's my goal. I fail miserably all the time, but the goal is to get better, to do it better. Maybe I said something wrong. I can say it better. Maybe I had a terrible take. I can do it better. And so I'm all for improving yourself, but the push is not just to improve yourself to get better. It's to find a way to create value for yourself so you can probably go somewhere else and transfer. I mean, that's the underlying thought there is, hey, create value for yourself. And so you got a lot of kids that are going to use Marshall to create value for themselves so they can get to the next location. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. That is our text line. I'll be back with you next week, but it's going to be very sporadic when we do join you again. Because coming up this week, we have got the Cure Bowl tomorrow and the Gasparilla Bowl. On Friday night, we got the first round of college football playoffs. Saturday as well. And then we've got college football on Monday, the Myrtle Beach Bowl, the famous Idaho Potatoes Bowl. Christmas Eve, we might be back with you on Christmas Eve for the show before the Hawaii Bowl. And then Christmas Day, we've got NFL action. Thursday, we won't be back with you. Friday, we won't be back with you. So we might be back with you on Christmas Eve. That's probably going to be it. But I might pop in, do something on the podcast now and then. So check that out if you would. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, you can find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Paul Swann. I will be there. I'll be active. You can reach out to me there. Let me know what you think, what's happening. You're doing a great job, Paul. You're doing a terrible job, Paul. You can let me know there on X at Paul Swann. So if I don't get a chance to talk to you guys again on the show, we'll start off fresh in the new year. Of course, I'll be back with you. We got basketball on Saturday. Herd taking on Southern Miss. We got basketball. We got Elon the following week. And so we've got a couple more opportunities. We will be together, and you can find me on social. So I'm not going to be too far. But if I don't get a chance to talk to you all, I just want to let you know, thank you so much. I appreciate everything throughout the year. Honestly, I'm blessed. I get to do this. This is the toy department of life. The time I get to do the show with you, it's the toy department of life. It really is. You come in, you get to have fun. Don't take it too seriously. Be professional. Be serious, but don't take it too serious. Because after all, I mean, we're talking about the things that we love. And even though we sometimes don't agree, I mean, I think we all can agree that we've got it good right now, despite some setbacks and some frustrations. That's going to do it for this edition. I'll be back with you in some form maybe on Christmas Eve, but you can find me again on social media. Don't forget, subscribe to that podcast, The Drive with Paul Swann. We'll try to keep that updated throughout the week next week. And then I'll talk to you again on Saturday as we get you set for Marshall and Southern Miss. All right, that's going to do it. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Thanks for being a part of the show today here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.